When we were turning off everything, shutting things down, I think we all knew deep inside that we probably weren't coming back tomorrow, and we didn't know when we were going to come back. And so it was a huge moment in all of our careers. And so the last month or so, we've gone through all of the stages. As I mentioned in my last video, I think everything that we're going through is the same thing that people go through in crisis situations, in times of loss. We went through phases of disbelief, we were bargaining, we were in denial, we were angry. We went through all these emotions throughout the last month, and we very quickly had to snap out of it. I think that was what we had to do. We had to make sure everybody across the board was out of that phase, because when you are in that fear moment, when you are just hunkering down, just not doing anything because you're so scared, just deer in the headlights, you just kind of put yourself in that fetal position and you don't do anything, well, that's not helping you. It's really not. Hi everyone, welcome back to my Mommy's Life channel, where I share with you guys my journey as a first-time mom, dentist, and business owner. If you guys are new to this channel is all about giving you guys tips, tricks, motivation, just kind of sharing with you guys insights of what I'm going through as I'm trying to raise a daughter, as well as grow my own business. So today's video, it's going to be a little bit just everything that I'm going through. It's been a big challenge. As everybody know, we're all impacted across the nation, across the world, with this coronavirus. And it is now a month in since our business, which is a dental practice, we've had to completely shut down, except for seeing and evaluating emergency situations. And so it's been a very, very interesting time for us. It was very tough at the beginning because the whole team, myself, my partner, we all just felt like we were really starting to hit our stride. We opened our second location last year. We had lots of hurdles, lots of obstacles, things that we never even thought about in our first location. And so we had a lot of things that we were working through, and over the course of last year, we were finally starting to make a breakthrough. We were like this close, like literally this close to just making a huge break. We were going to just crush the ceiling and kind of make that next big jump in our business. And it was just like overnight. I remember it very vividly. Tuesday afternoon, after I got back from Seattle, that day was very depressing. We had a lot of cancellations. Our day basically just turned into nothing. And so, I remember going back early from our Seattle office, and we were all a little bummed. I think they had a similar experience up at our North office, and it was just like that. In that instant, the rug was just kind of pulled under us, and it was like the lights just went off. That was it. And it was really crazy. It wasn't like, we were, by no means were we going under or closing our doors for those reasons. It was something completely out of our control, but it was that same feeling of, at the end of the day, that day, when we were turning off everything, shutting things down, I think we all knew deep inside that we probably weren't coming back tomorrow, and we didn't know when we were going to come back. And so it was a huge moment in all of our careers. And so the last month or so, we've gone through all of the stages. As I mentioned in my last video, I think everything that we're going through is the same thing that people go through in crisis situations, in times of loss. We went through phases of disbelief, we were bargaining, we were in denial, we were angry. We went through all these emotions throughout the last month, and we very quickly had to snap out of it. I think that was what we had to do. We had to make sure everybody across the board was out of that phase, because when you are in that fear moment, when you are just hunkering down, just not doing anything because you're so scared, just deer in the headlights, you just kind of, put yourself in that fetal position and you don't do anything, well, that's not helping you. It's really not. And so we started finding new purpose. We started digging. We started finding ways to get grants and loans, figure out a way for us to have a comeback. And throughout all this, we learned a whole new area that I think a lot of us took for granted, which is the fact that, we still have our family. I have a super awesome 2-year-old. I mean, I always knew she was cool. I'm a little biased, but I knew she was cool, but I never really got to learn about her because I honestly, most of the weekday, Monday through Friday, I'm working, and I don't get a lot of that one-on-one time to actually, figure out her personality and chat with her. And now I got all day with her. It's a pretty neat thing, and having a routine that is so strict kind of limits your freedom, and you start to get bored. I think a big part of that was making breakfast, making lunch, making dinner, and I think it gets to be pretty robotic and uninspiring. And right now, when we're not having a lot of the things that we used to do to get excited about, sports, concerts, all those things that we would do, we got to find new ways to be inspired and be excited for what we're doing. So try new recipes, do some new things that you wouldn't have otherwise done. So allow for movement in your routine, but do have a routine. We are still I'm daily following continuing education courses. I'm doing webinars so that even though I'm not physically doing my craft, I'm not working on patients, I'm still learning. I'm keeping my brain thinking, and I'm keeping up to things, and so that it drives me, it keeps me in that moment of being at work and stuff like that. And so it really helps me having that learning as part of my day, even if it's just a couple hours or a few hours. It helps keep me going. I do some work still remotely, and the rest of the day I'm entertaining the 2-year-old, which in itself is a whole new job. You have newfound appreciation for stay-at-home parents, teachers. It's really tough. It's tough enough with one. I can't imagine having a classroom of 24 to 30 kids. And so a big round of applause to all those teachers out there. It's amazing what they do. With Caitlin, it's tough because she's 2. Her attention span is, pretty small. And so a couple things, if you guys need something to inspire you with your kids, if they're driving you crazy and you want to get them to sit down and do something, look up some science experiments. Caitlin loves it. There's a couple pages that I've been kind of using to kind of get in ideas from, and so I'll link that down in my comment box. But there's a lot of really easy, cool, hands-on, explosive experiments that can add as a teaching tool for you. They're learning as well as they're getting involved, and it's not just staring at the TV and whatnot. So Caitlin has loved it, with just a little bit of baking soda and vinegar, some food coloring. She's learning about chemical reactions. We are learning colors. We're learning, how you can mix primary colors and get other colors. So there's a lot of really cool ideas out there. And that's kind of, really helped us, keep her from getting too stir crazy, and then she gets upset and all that. So, and the other thing that I would recommend, so what have we discussed? Making sure you have a routine, find ways to stay on top of your industry, of your work, so that you're still sharp on that stuff, keep your brain thinking, coming up with ideas to keep your kids entertained. The 4th thing is to make sure you guys are working on your mind as well, making sure that you guys are healthy, both mentally and physically. One of the things that I'm doing every day now is I'm committing to a workout. I didn't used to do that. I'm committing to a workout, and we've been very fortunate in Washington here that we've had some pretty good weather, and so we routinely have now pretended like we're going to the beach. Caitlin has loved it, you know, so every day she'll ask me now, like, can we go to the beach? Can we go to the beach? And so what we'll do is we'll just take a beach towel, picnic cloth, whatever. We'll fill a basket with snacks, her favorite toys, and we'll just head outside to the backyard. We'll just hang out in the backyard for a couple hours. We'll kick the ball around. We'll go looking for planes up in the sky, and that's been really good mentally for us. Getting that fresh air. When you come back in, you just feel good. Even though we're not at the beach, we're envisioning being at the beach, getting the fresh air, getting the vitamin D, whatever you can do to get outside of the four walls, I think is really going to help you as well. So those are a few things that is happening in my life. These are ways that I'm like continuing to try to cope with everything that's going on. It's not to say that I don't still kind of have those moments where I default back to a little bit of that fear, of that uncertainty. It still happens. It still will kind of creep up from time to time. Usually when it's quiet, when Caitlin's down for a nap or whatever, that surge of fear and concern, all those questions, it starts roaring back. But I think for all of us out there, the biggest thing is making sure you keep that under control. Don't let it overwhelm you, because then you're not going to take action. It's not going to help you. It's not going to serve you if you let all of that fear take over. You're just going to end up spiraling. And what we need to do is just, like, again, take that fear, turn it into a positive action, find creative ways to still make that sale. If you're a small business that is selling goods, production, find ways to still get that out there to the public. Work on your brand, work on your social media presence, do whatever you can to keep working on it, because this is going to end. It's going to. I know it. I know it's going to end. It has to. And when we do go back, you want to go back with as good of a position as possible. So make sure you're still out there. Make sure you still try to make connections with your clients, your customers, your patients. Even though you can't physically see them, make sure that you let them know in some way or form that you're still out there, there for them, and all of that good stuff. Same with your team. Make sure that you're still making it known that you are out there for them. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Continue to stay safe. Continue to enjoy this time that you have with your family. And above all, just make sure that you continue to have faith. Continue to believe that, even in times of crisis, there's opportunity. There is going to be a way out of this. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel. We just gotta keep at it and stay positive. So love you. See you next time.